Rather than lads, welcome back to Cossy's Arsenal podcast. My name is Cossy. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are, parts of the world. We are back again this morning to discuss Arsenal transfer news and the latest around the captaincy. Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang was stripped of his captaincy yesterday. What is the latest? Who is the next captain? There is a leak about Martin Odegaard. We'll be trying to dive into that. And obviously, Fabrizio Romano in the major update today coming out and saying the Arsenal will not wait until the summer to get in a striker. It will be as early as January. They'll try to get in a striker as early as January. Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang is frustrated with the way Mikel Arteta handled, his stripping, his captaincy. The way he was stripped of his captaincy. Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, according to Chris Whitley and Football.London, he is frustrated. He's not happy with the way Arsenal handled the issues there. So we're gonna be discussing much of that. Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you also subscribe to the channel. Yesterday we got to our 200 mark, and of course on this video we need 200 likes right there. So make sure you hit the like button and also get involved. Something big is coming. I should be telling you that I will be partnering with Melbet in the coming days, for a period of 30 days. So we'll have a paid promotion in our videos. I will be partnering with Melbet very, very soon. But of course, guys, to start off indeed today, let us start off with the big game that is coming up today on your screens. You will be able to watch Arsenal versus West Ham, another London derby, indeed another big game for Arsenal. Mikel Arteta spoke about it yesterday, and of course he said that this is a game where Arsenal have to go above West Ham. We have an opportunity, we have a chance to go above West Ham, and that is what we have to focus on. And of course, he's not lying. That is the big game today. That is the motive today. Can Arsenal go to top 4? Manchester United's game was cancelled, and of course West Ham are only 2 points ahead of Arsenal. If we beat them, if we can get 3 points against West Ham at the Emirates Stadium today, we will be moving to top 4. We will be moving up the table. So that is the game that is coming to you live today. It's going to be a late kickoff because it is Wednesday and it's the midweek kickoff. So it's going to be around 11 p.m. That is East African Standard Time, and of course it will be around 9 p.m. there in the UK. So make sure you don't miss that game. We'll be having the kickoff live, and we'll also be having the big match reactions there after the game. So make sure you do check on the channel all the time. And of course, the best thing you can do is subscribe and turn on the notifications so you do not miss a video. But to get into the transfers, to get into the talk around the club this early morning, lads, I'm really one of those people that is really busy. A lot of news, a lot of talk is actually moving around the club, and of course I have to keep you updated. I've also got to keep myself updated with whatever is actually happening. So let us start off with Fabrizio Romano, who's actually saying that after the breach of internal disciplinary regulations last week, Aubameyang was stripped of his captaincy. He plans to sign, Arsenal plans to sign a striker before the summer of 2022, and a new striker will be signed next summer. To be clear, there are no talks with Dusan Vlahovic at the moment, or even the players' agents. Now that's there, Fabrizio Romano confirming that Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang could be out of service at Arsenal, and Arsenal want to get in a new striker as early as January. Honestly, guys, I'm gonna say this. This story is not new because last week, we were listening in from Sport Media Set. We got an update from Sport Media Set, and they were saying the Arsenal want to convince Dusan Vlahovic to agree and join them as early as January. Obviously, by then, it didn't make a lot of sense. Vlahovic in January, we have Aubameyang, we have Lacazette, maybe in the summer. But now the stories make much more sense. I think the stories really make much more sense. I think it is now about time that Arsenal really getting a striker in January. Now, there are 3 players at the moment that are being closely linked with the club. Dusan Vlahovic is one of them. But according to Fabrizio Romano, there are no talks with Vlahovic, and there are no talks with the agents of the player at the moment. So it looks very, very unlikely that Arsenal will get Dusan Vlahovic in January. Yes, Fiorentina have already come out and confirmed that they're signing a new striker. They will be getting a replacement of Vlahovic, and that could be Ikone right from Lille. But it's very, very difficult at the moment to confirm that Vlahovic is going to be the striker that Arsenal bring in the January transfer window. Now, rumors are that Arsenal could bring in someone, or a player on a temporary, deal, or something like a 6-month long deal, and then go for a permanent striker in the summer. That could be the strategy. The other strategy is that we might bring in Yuri Alberto. Of course, we know that Yuri Alberto is playing there in Brazil. He's not at the standard. He's not at that standard, the likes of Vlahovic, of the likes of Calvert-Lewin, and the likes of Jonathan David. But because it's going to be very hard for Arsenal to get in the right deals in January, we might go for Yuri Alberto in January and then sign in another permanent striker in the summer. So again, the plan there for Arsenal is really, really, really complicated. It's so complicated when it comes to January. And my thoughts, my opinions about Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang have always been very clear, and they will stay very clear. I thought we should stay with him until the end of the season. We should keep him until the end of the season. We are not going to really get a good striker in January. If you look at every club, if you look at every striker, be it Lautaro Martinez, he's never going to leave in January. Be it the likes of Vlahovic, they might not leave in January. I think the biggest opportunity we have to a striker is Yuri Alberto and Dusan Vlahovic, because Vlahovic, Fiorentina want to sell in the summer. They are really, really open to selling the player in the summer. That could be the next that could be the only advantage that Arsenal have in that deal. But when it comes to arguing with the player, we are very, very far away, far apart. The player does not actually want to join Arsenal in January, at least not as early as January. If you look at the other options, Calvert-Lewin is also being linked as as a January transfer move. But of course, for me, a player that has been really injured for the better part of the beginning of the season, I don't see why we should go for him in January. Let him come back at Everton, get some game time, and then we can sign him in the summer if we are still convinced about the player he is by then. And obviously the other one is Jonathan David. It is really, really very, very unclear if Lille will let go of two strikers in one transfer window. This January they will let go of Ikone to Fiorentina. That has already been confirmed by Fabrizio Romano, and obviously by Fiorentina as well. They have confirmed that they will be signing a new striker in Ikone from Lille. Now, I do not understand. I will never understand if Lille sold another striker in another striker in the same transfer window. It really makes no sense. So I think Jonathan David will be moving in the summer. It's not going to be a January transfer move. And what the last thing I want to see is Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang leaving the club, and then we bring in someone who is so incompetent. We bring in someone who cannot actually fill the shoes of the captain or the ex-captain who has actually been stripped. Because yesterday, lads, we spoke about this in depth, in detail, and we said probably Barcelona could be the club that are going to take Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. A couple of other clubs are interested, but at the moment, I think what Arsenal should do, be calm, let Aubameyang finish his season, and then sell him in the summer, and that's when we can actually get a very, very good striker. I do agree that we need a striker, but I think our pressing issues lie far away from that this January. We need a midfielder, and we also need another forward to replace the likes of Nicola Pepe. A striker for me. Two strikers in the summer. We should focus on that in the summer. Getting in a striker right about in January, yes, it's a very, very good move, but are we going to get in the right quality of players? Are we going to get in the right striker when we panic in January? It is really, 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 really not that easy. Now, according to Chris Whitley, he's come out and confirmed that, actually, he's not really confirming, but he's leaked some information about the next Arsenal captain, and that could be Martin Odegaard. Now, Chris Whitley is one credible journalist. Obviously, we know Chris Whitley works with Football.London. Really, really a massive fan of the blog, and I really read it all the time. And of course, if you want anything, in terms of the latest Arsenal news, in terms of the latest Arsenal updates, you can check out, Football.London. Always, I really, really do trust them. Now, according to Chris Whitley, he is saying that Martin Odegaard is, according to the leaks, according to the latest leaks, Martin Odegaard is set to be the next Arsenal captain after Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang was told to step down, was told to leave office. Now, what I'm going to say about Martin Odegaard, because there is not much information at the moment, it's all about Chris Whitley giving us a few leaks here and there, and it's saying that Martin Odegaard could be the next big thing as captain at Arsenal. What are your thoughts, lads? What do you think about Martin Odegaard being the next Arsenal captain? Do you agree? Do you disagree? I spoke about it yesterday, and I said if I look at the next Arsenal captains, I didn't really talk about Martin Odegaard that much, but I say the fact that he's already captain at Norway, he's already captaining Norway, on the national level, that could be a very big incentive for him to get the office. And now it is being rumored, it is being linked that Martin Odegaard could be Arsenal's next captain. Obviously, guys, my problem with Martin Odegaard is is his inconsistency at the club. I need him to be performing at a very, very high level consistently. He's a game winner, he's a game changer, he's one of the best players we know that we have in that side. Lots of talent, lots of quality. He's got what it takes to be a very, very good player. Now the question is he the quality to captain Arsenal? He really doesn't talk a lot. I've seen so many people already saying, oh, the silent type of captain, the silent captain. I really do not fall for that. I don't like silent captains. I want players that talk. I want players that are really, really, really on it. But again, the character of Martin Odegaard for me doesn't fit. It doesn't do it for me. I don't see him as a player. I don't see leadership qualities in him. I don't see the kind of leadership built in Martin Odegaard. Many people, of course, are going to say he leads by example. He's going to lead by example. But you need some player. You need someone. You need a player with a very, very positive attitude. You need a player who is vocal. You need a player who can talk. You need a player who can command others. You need a player who can actually force a result out of that team. I don't think Odegaard is that player. He's a very, very good one. I think you could make him third captain. You could make him maybe second captain. But being the main captain at Arsenal Football Club, I don't see how Arsenal is actually looking at that. But of course, the rumors are from Chris Whitley that Martin Odegaard could be the next Arsenal captain. Let me know in the comments below. Do you think that is actually in line? Do you think that will be that will be in line with what Arsenal are trying to do in terms of building a strong squad? Do you think he can be the captain of this new generation? I think one of the advantages he has is that he's very, very young. He can grow with the side. He can captain this side for 7-10 years. I think that's the advantage. He can grow with his side. He can grow as a captain. He can grow with his team, and he's not going to be outgrown, or he's not going to actually grow and leave the team behind. He's actually in the same bracket. But does he have the leadership skills that we want as Arsenal footballer? Does he have the football? Does he have this leadership, qualities that we want to be, that we want in our next captain? Big question right about there. Now, speaking about big decisions, the EPL season could actually be called off. That is according to the latest links and rumors around the Premier League. Now, what is happening around the Premier League is that COVID-19 cases, especially the Omicron variant, are actually spreading really, really widely, and a great number of Premier League players are not vaccinated. So what could happen is that already games are being called off, lads. Of course, you know that games are being called off, games are being postponed, players are testing positive day in, day out. Players are actually testing day in, day out, positive. And according to the EPL, if the situation actually does not get any better, then the season will have to be shut down. The season will actually be, will have to be called off because they do not want to risk the health of the players. They do not want to risk the players' health. So it might be called off. This season could be called off. Because yesterday Mikel Arteta was speaking about it in the press conference and said it really depends on the politicians. They have to call the policy makers. They have to call the odds. If they say it is safe to play, then we go ahead and play. But if they say it is not really safe to play, then the season will be called off. So we could be facing another big decision in the coming weeks, in the coming months. We could see the Premier League called off for some time because the Omicron variant is actually spreading widely in the Premier League, and so many players out there are actually getting it because they are not really vaccinated. Now moving on, guys, Adidas have the new Adidas kit for next season has already started being linked, but all I can provide for now in terms of information is that it's going to be that Arsenal red and white only. Now what is actually coming out according to Foot Headlines? Foot Headlines are actually really known for leaking essential information when it comes to upcoming jerseys, new jerseys, and things like that. So what they are saying really is that Adidas have decided to make the new Arsenal jersey only in our brand color, in our brand colors, red and white. So there won't be any extra colors like yellow, like navy blue, and things like that. They're not going to be any extra colors. It's going to be red and white. So that is according to the latest links again in terms of the new Arsenal kits. Of course, I can't wait to have the new Arsenal kit. I just want to have have it in my collection. I've grown a little bit bigger and bigger. Some of my jerseys are no longer fitting, so I need a new collection. And of course, the new Arsenal jersey that will be announced some months later is going to be in only two colors, red and white, no extra colors. That is the concept Adidas are actually building at the moment. And of course, there is growing frustration with Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang at the moment and Mikel Arteta and the club. Now, Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang apparently is not happy with the way the situation was handled at Arsenal Football Club. Now, according to Chris Whitley, right from Football.London, he is saying that Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang is actually really frustrated and disgusted with the public nature of how Arsenal handled him being stripped of his captaincy. Now, what I don't understand really with Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang is Arsenal is a big club. We are always in the media. We always publish everything we do. When he was given the captaincy, we already we came out in the media and said our new captain, meet our new captain, Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. That is when Granit Xhaka's captaincy was actually stripped of. Now, what I don't understand is the frustration. What I don't understand is why he thinks that being stripped of his being stripped of his captaincy should have been kept a secret right from the media, right from the fans. I do not really understand that. I think Arsenal made the right decision. They published an article, a very professional article, announcing that he was no longer captain, and they were telling us that now you will have a new captain in the coming months, in the coming time. We will let you know. I really think Aubameyang is so unfair to Mikel Arteta. I think Mikel Arteta has been very protective of Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang in his press conference yesterday. He was so protective. Every question he was asked, he had one answer. We have taken the decision. It is not an easy decision. That is all I can say. I really read that press conference. I reacted to it. We talked about it yesterday. I don't understand why Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang would come out and say he is really frustrated about how the situation has really been handled. For me, Mikel Arteta has handled that situation with the utmost sincerity, with the utmost professionalism that I can ever think of. If it was Jose Mourinho, he was gonna throw him under the bus. He was going to destroy him. He was going to punch him in the face. Mikel Arteta really didn't do that. I saw him as a manager trying to protect his captain, trying to protect his player, trying to protect his team, and of course, my problem there was the fact that he could be frozen, and of course more reports confirming that the Mikel Arteta is planning on excluding Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang right from the squad, freezing him out. That could be the only problem. But for me, the rest of the way it was handled, I think it was good. I think it was professional. Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang has got to get used to it. He's no longer Arsenal captain, and he now needs to move on. So guys, that is the basic update. Arsenal trying to get a striker as early as possible, according to Romano, before the summer. And obviously Martin Odegaard links, to be, information leaks that he could be the next big thing as captain at Arsenal. Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang's frustration, and of course he could be joining Barcelona. That is the latest around the club this early morning. Make sure you smash a like on the video. Make sure you subscribe to the channel as well. Like I said, something big could be on our way. I will be announcing it very, very soon. It could be, it could be Melbet. We could be working with Melbet. So make sure when I bring on that promotion, you guys join in. And I'm gonna say thanks to everybody who joins me live, the likes of Anu. I really appreciate Chris Mwaka. I really appreciate, and many people, many more people. I really do appreciate, and I know you by name. So thanks everybody, and make sure you hit the like button because it helps the channel to grow.